Hi guys, hail and Mayor meets everybody. It's MicheleMarieDalene. I have the iPhone 15 today because that was the phone I happened to grab this morning. And I wanted to, first of all, say thank you for all the new subs. And people wonder why I just take a sip and chew. Well, I want to talk about that. I like to eat ice cubes. That's why. But anyway, so let's get to the nitty-gritty, shall we? Number one, I put the screen protector on this phone, the new one. It's not perfect. No, it's not really bright sun right now either, so the screen is a little bit brighter than the other one, but it's really a lot brighter than the other screen. I can't tell. I don't have the ability to figure out that detail, but I can tell you that is that it works just as well as the other phone does. So what am I going to do today? Well, today, I got the scale fixed up since I haven't used it since December. But it was able to just change the batteries in because it came with just cheap carbon zinc ones. And I had some alkalins that were new, so I put the alkalins in because carbon zincs, after a while they leak and they go bad. And it doesn't surprise me these companies choose the cheapest batteries they can get. Fortunately, they didn't leak, but I changed them out anyway, so with some alkaline cells. My weight is okay. I did lose a little bit of weight, and no, I didn't have to hold on to the wall this time to check the weight. Because I'm more confident now standing on my 2 feet. I don't need to grab onto a wall or railing or anything like that. So that's a big plus. So I was able to weigh myself with just putting the scale on the studio floor and just standing on it, and that makes it a little more accurate weighing measurement because you don't get the wall kind of offsetting the weight numbers. So so the other thing, people ask me this, and I'm going to answer it. You're drinking a diet Coke with cherry flavoring. Is the cherry flavoring sugar-free? I have no clue. That's a great question. I wish I could give you a strict answer. I don't know if it's sugar-free. But I only buy 120-ounce soda a day. It's like drinking, 2.5 cans of Diet Coke? It's certainly less sugar than regular Coke. But the thing is getting out there and walking. That's what Carmen wanted me to do, was to stay active. That's why I go out every day. It's not just because I want a soda. The soda is just kind of the, so to speak, the carrot, if you will. But I also have to get other things done. Now let's talk about the stick. The stick is, it's either you go out, or you're going to end up paying someone else to take you out, or go shopping for you. And that's just going to add prices to everything. Now, somebody left this behind here. What is this? Mayonnaise. Packets of mayonnaise. Little sachets of mayonnaise. I don't know who left those behind, but So that's why I like to go outside. That's why I like to walk. Because when I got hurt on December 6th, 2019, and I was basically unable to do anything for almost a year, 2 years, I had struggled because Cumberland Farms, thank God, was right downstairs from my house at the time. So I could go into Cumbies and hobble my way in with my walker when my leg wasn't even that strong at the time, and get some basic groceries to, have something in the house for a meal. Or sometimes I would just go ahead and buy with cash some of the pre-made sandwiches with no condiments on them, just plain, like ham and Swiss, plain. And I would buy those, and then I would bring them home cold, and then I put them in my oven and warm them up that way at home because I could get them on food stamps if they're cold. And so that's the reason why I did that. By the way, speaking of food stamps, I got a letter letting me know that I'm getting an increase on October for $256 in food stamps. EBT stamp, 256 from 240. It's not a huge amount, but I'll take it, it's better than nothing. But yeah, so I got like $16 increase coming to October food stamps. As far as the other thing we discussed this morning, I am not going to work on the ceiling fixture for Jimmy. I have my reasons. Let me just make sure we understand this. Jimmy is a cheapskate. We know that. We understand why he's a cheapskate. Because he wants to hoard the money for himself. However, you got old wiring from 1955 when that building was rewired after the 55 flood that has not been updated since. That kind of wire is what they call cloth-covered rubber. A wiring that is no longer to code. They do not use it anymore. Okay? It is armored cable, or sometimes known as MC. Technically, BX and MC are almost the same, but that difference has to do with the way the cables are made. It's made the same way and everything, but armor-clad cable or metal-clad cable is basically the same stuff, right? So current standard is to use thermoset plastic insulation. You see sometimes with an overcoat of a secondary coating to protect the wire or insulation from cracking. Now, back in the 1950s, the stuff he has in his wall was the standard, and it was the way things were done. The problem was, at the same time, the wire was, it's made out of natural rubber. I don't think it's made out of vulcanized rubber. I think it could be vulcanized. I don't know. It depends. It depends on the manufacturer. I have worked in many model trains with Ed from American Flyer and early Lino trains that had the same kind of wire inside. The insulation crumbles off. It comes off, and then you got bare copper or tin plated wire or whatever. And then you got to go ahead and after a while, it's so bad, it's so rotted that you just might as well just replace the wires. I've done that on many model trains where I've actually replaced the wires outright. From the motors to the pickups and the rails to the E-units on the Lionel and American Flyer. So now, of course, the same thing applies inside the building. One time I was working on a wiring for Jimmy, and the insulation was just crumbling. And I finally told him straight out, I said, Jimmy, get your head out of your ass, get an electrician in here. Okay, this is deteriorating pretty rough, and you're asking for a really bad experience. Get a licensed guy in here because he can replace the cables and prevent you from having any major unwanted disasters, okay? If he has a plumber, he has an HVAC tech, there's no reason why he shouldn't at least have an electrician on speed dial. He really needs to have one. And I really don't feel I can handle going up on a rickety ladder that's too short. Too short. With a bad knee to change a light fixture. We're not talking about just screwing in a new light bulb. We're talking about a completely new situation. Okay? And I really feel that he needs to keep in mind that and listen to people that know what they're talking about. When I tell you, Jimmy, you're asking for a major calamity here, don't sit there and go, yeah. That means just what it sounds like. I'm telling you right now, heads up. Get somebody in here who knows what they're doing. He might tell you got to replace the whole run of cable. He would be able to do that for you. He's got the tools, he's got the crew, he's got the materials. Get a licensed electrician in here and stop giving me excuses about it, okay? My eyesight's not the same as it was when I was 18, okay? I wish it was that good. Not any. So, I don't want to get hurt falling on my ass. And then, heaven forbid, break my goddamn hip and then potentially find myself in a body cast because you couldn't even bother taking my advice and getting an electrician. I don't. This is the reason I'm thinking, I swear to God, this is the reason I'm thinking I really gotta get a better apartment. It's not because of my health. It's because this guy is making excuses for everything. He's making excuses for everything. Okay? And it's stupid. It's literal bullshit. So, that's the way I feel about it. Now, by the way, I want to talk about something a little more exciting. But here we go. I am very, very happy with how the shows are going in the morning. I am very happy that we have been seeing more engagement on the shows. Very happy. However, I would still like to see more memberships come in. Okay? couple times I have gifted out memberships out of my own pocket. I'm not talking about the free ones. I'm talking about where I paid cash on my credit card after I use up the 10 free ones. We need to remember the memberships, in one sense, solve a couple problems for people. Number one, it helps because you, a membership, can say, and more than likely you'd be right. Well, I got a membership, it's $3 a month, so I don't have to donate as much because Michelle is guaranteed to get my $3 a month membership. That's absolutely true. Doesn't mean you cannot donate, but I'm saying is memberships in the long run is actually a better deal. Okay? Number two, I don't have to worry about forgetting to pay it because I can set up automatically recurring memberships and paying it every month. So all I have to do is just make sure I have money available and it gets renewed every month. Problem solved. That also is a lot easier than worrying about, oh gee, did I donate to Michelle this month? Because I can see that you are renewed your membership, then I know that it was you've been paid. You've been paying it, you know. Next thing, well, it's not as big of a deal. Memberships do have the emojis that we've created. Now, I know some people say, why don't you have a membership live stream? That's not a bad idea. Except, how many are willing to come to join us on a membership live stream? Well, I'll tell you what. Don't forget about tomorrow. Oh yes, tomorrow, Krista and I are going to be cleaning the house a little bit. So we are more than likely not going to be live in the morning, okay? So we are not going to be live in the morning at 10 a.m. Please make a note of it. We will be live at 3 p.m. That's 3 p.m. 1500 hours Eastern Time, or approximately 20 hours Universal Coordinated Time. Oh yeah, you got somebody left these 2 packets of ketchup or mayonnaise here for you. I never opened them, but I don't know who they are.
Oh, I'll just throw them out just in case.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, I just want to make sure. I just don't like to see people litter here.
Yeah, no, it's always enough.
So, and that's something that some people have said that they got confused with the hours. So let me explain this to you. 7 a.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Mountain, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern. Normally is when the morning show is. The night show, which is on Saturday, is at 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, 5 p.m. Mountain, 6 p.m. Central, 7 p.m. Eastern, and unfortunately for the people in the UK, it's midnight UK time, which kind of sucks because you guys end up having to sit around really late to watch the show in the UK. I'm really sorry about that, guys. So does that mean tomorrow we're going to try suggesting having a members-only chat? Sure, why not? Let's do that. So, of course, it's not going to stop the panel, but basically, a members-only chat is just like a subscribers chat. Okay, in other words, the difference is you got to be a member. So you sign up with a membership as a way to bring in extra money. It's not like I'm fleecing you for thousands of pounds a month. I'm really not. It's just, it helps to offset the costs. And right now, I didn't even get paid yet from YouTube. So we're not going to get paid probably until, I don't know, maybe Monday, because the 21st is tomorrow, but tomorrow is also not a bank day. So probably not going to get paid Sunday because that's not a bank day. That's the 26th. So the 23rd is Monday. So coming the 23rd, most likely I'll get paid from YouTube. And I've already figured out how we're going to divvy out the money. So just to let you know this. It's about 300 and... I know it's more than 350. I think it's like 390. Let's say 390. So what I want to do is put 200 on Ally, 100 in Capital One, and then leave the rest in the bank. And then on the first, I'm going to pay electric company whatever it is I owe them. I think it's something like $40. I usually pay them $100, but maybe I might pay a little bit less this month. And then pay off T-Mobile, the rent, the any other bills I can think of that came up that I forget about, like my monthly cell phone bill, things like that. Now I have 3 of the 4 SIMs active. My bill is not going to go up. Okay, it's not going to go up. Which is great, because it means that I still got 1 more SIM chip if I really need to use it. Like I told T-Mobile, I said, well, I don't need any more phones. I got enough of them, which is true. So, that's a good thing. The movie last night was really good. And we're going to watch the second movie. Now, I don't know if we're watching in chronological order, so please understand we have 2 more Lord of the Ring movies to play next Tuesday and next Thursday after that. Tuesday after that. So I don't know if we're playing them in order or not. Okay? But I want to get them out of here. I want to get them out of my hair and get them to the next ones. And also find some other content as well. So now let's talk about the other thing about the money, because it came up. Make sure you understand. I am not buying a PC with my money from YouTube. Not happening. Okay? Because I don't have enough, for one thing. I already kind of committed to put $200 to Ally, $100 to Capital One. And then see some in my checking account for other bills. And so the other money from renters rebates is supposed to come in October. I do not know exactly when. I have no clue. Just said October. But it could also run late. I've seen it happen too a couple times. So when that money comes in, that's $700. Or it could be less, depending on the number of people who sign up. Is what kind of computer am I going to buy? If I'm going to buy a computer. We have talked about this. So let's just go through this real quick. If I buy that Dell 6070 Optiflex, it's not a bad machine for what it is. It really isn't. But what is a little bit disappointing is Microsoft Windows it just doesn't interest me. However, I'm a Mac user. I'm a Mac shop primarily, and I really kind of would like to keep it Mac. Now, I know everybody said, well, it's just a Hackintosh, yada, yada, yada. yeah, like I said, a Macintosh, but I mean a Hackintosh. The problem is that it's the same as with the Macs that are Intel based. Is the fact is Apple is no longer supporting Intel, and so if you decide to buy, say, like the Power Mac, like the Mac Pro, 2010, 2011, cheese grater, you're still going to run into the same problem this is you would with Windows, which is, oh, now you have this old crusty computer and it runs Ventura or it can run Catalina, but now you're very much still using an old obsolete computer that's gonna one day stop working for support, and then you're gonna be stuck just like my Power Mac G5 is, with a computer that's big, heavy, clunky metal thing that doesn't have support anymore, and then you're gonna end up and go, well, gee, I'm gonna have to replace everything again. It's Windows. I've seen Brian PC had a problem with his sound card. Andrew S had a problem with his sound card. Who's telling me that if I buy that computer and they get all the Windows updates and then find out my sound is broken? You know, that would really, really mess up my gameplay so bad. It would be heartbreaking because I really want to play my game. I really do want to drive my truck again, but the built-in video in it, is it fast enough, or do I have to buy another video card? And then you find out, well, we support these things called little single slot, little short low profile video cards, which there are a couple ones that I can think of. But the point is then I gotta go through and buy one of those cards and then put it in there and make sure I have drivers, and then it's just, I'm 56 years old. I don't have time to play hide and seek. I just want to be able to get things done, okay? That's why I like the Mac so much, because as long as you stick with the Mac stuff, it works fine. My phones can integrate with each other. They can all share files with each other. My computers can read the files from the other computers. Information is transfers quick and easy. I don't have to worry about this. So what would be the advantage of having another cheese grater like the 5,1 2010 Mac Pro? I'm going to use the 2010 as an example. I had a 2009, but that was actually a 4,1. Just firmware updated to 5,1. One, that you got a computer that has 4 PCIe slots, okay? Natively, you have built in 4 FireWire 800 ports. You have 4 USB 2.0 ports, 2 Ethernet ports. You may or may not have a Bluetooth card. That's not really a big deal. I mean, Bluetooth, I don't even use Bluetooth, so, not on my computer anyway. But I can get a Bluetooth card, third party, or I have a Bluetooth dongle that'll plug in the USB ports to support Bluetooth. So, or I can find the matching Bluetooth controller and Wi-Fi controller that works with Ventura on that machine, because it's using I'm not sure what format it is. I think it's PCIe M.2. I could be wrong, but I don't think I'm too far off. But So far, what I think of is, do I need to get the gaming or do I need to get a hole in the head? I really seriously, I'm like, I don't really want to spend money on gaming because we've been talking about moving, we've been talking about going to other places, and it's like $700 is like 70% of a month's rent for a new place somewhere. And really, I kind of would like to just save it because we don't know what's going to happen with this building because it is old and Connecticut is getting really dicey right now with illegals. If you think the people from Haitians coming into Connecticut is impossible, guess again. If you think TDA is not going to come into Connecticut in the cities, no, they will. What about MS-13? What about Los Solitos? I know Los Solitos. I've dealt with Los Solitos. They usually treat me pretty good. But MS-13, TDA, those guys are bad news. They're like major. They like to hurt people big time. They torture you before they kill you. You do not want to mess with either MS-13 or TDA, okay? You want to stay out of their way. And like I said, I talked about going to the places. Molasses and I both came up with the same answer. New England. Maine. 2 out in the sticks. Vermont. New Hampshire. 2 likely to be too sparsely populated. Winston is too expensive. New Rhode Island is too expensive. So we have with or without molasses, I'm still doing the same reality. I'm on a fixed income. There is no way in hell I can afford to stay in an environment by myself. If for some reason next year Timmy says, I'm sorry, but my taxes went up to your rent's going up now too. You know, I don't think I can afford that. It's not a joke. It's a reality. Okay? Now, what about the other things? For example, people keep reminding, well, you know, you're getting older. Maybe you might want to live in a place that's near the ground floor. Okay. Well, so let's say I go ahead and let's say I talk to some landlord. I don't know, anywhere. Winston, Torrington, Berkhamsted, Norfolk, Canaan, whatever. Or heaven forbid, maybe it's Jimmy in another building. Okay? And he says to me, okay, I have a ground floor apartment for you, and it is $900 a month. But it's in the middle of nowhere, and it's not near anything that you need. There's no support services. So what am I about to rent into? I rented into a place that has even less support than I need, than I already have. So that's no good, okay? But then, it's just like I said about as far as the maps of the United States. It's like, what are you going to do? Throw darts at the map of the United States and say, oh, the dart lands on, say, Bismarck, North Dakota. Bismarck, North Dakota is not bad. It's very boring. It's boring. It's flat. It is a largely German Catholic area, which is fine. But, you know, it's not really the best solution for me. It's not the worst, but it's not the best. Okay? First of all, it's cold. Oh, yes, it is very cold. But for me, I like it cold. Or actually, I'm comfortable when it's like about 10 degrees Celsius. 10 to about 25 degrees Celsius is fine for me. That's kind of a happy temperature range. Now, when you start getting below 10 or it's very windy, honestly, like everyone else, I'm going to go grab a sweater. I'm going to grab a parka. I'm going to grab a jacket because the wind takes away the heat off the body. Okay? So there's no doubt about that. Or when it's like 30 degrees Celsius, then I'm sitting, playing the opposite, cussing and sweating my ass off as I'm sweating is coming out of my hot body, and I don't smell good. And trust me, they don't always smell nice. Even though I try, sometimes, trust me, you don't want to be around me when I start 30, 40 degrees Celsius outside. I stink bad, okay? I smell like rancid cheese. So don't, I'm telling you now, that's why people like me, you have to keep refrigerated. Because we go bad, we spoil. Okay? So that's the reality. But we also got to protect our safety. The fact is, you're dealing with so much insecurity right now in the United States that people are not aware of all the damage that's being done to Americans right now. We're worried about our safety. We're seeing TDA and these other evil gangs coming into our cities. Apartment dwellers are sitting ducks. And I bet you anything there have probably been home invasions too, not from apartment people living in apartments, but individual homeowners. I want to have a home. Okay, we've talked about that. But $700 is not enough for a down payment on a house. Sorry, $700 is not enough for a down payment on a house at 10%. You might be able to, that's only a $7,000 house. Not going to happen. You're going to need more money for that for a down payment. And then you sit there going, then legal fees, closing costs, blah, 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 blah. By the time you're done, you have nothing to show for it. That's pretty disturbing. So that's the reason why I got to know what I got to decide. And it's not a simple thing. I mean, I don't like to think about this all the time because right now I don't feel I can do anything about it. But I do know that I cannot sit here and do zip. I have to do something. Okay? I have to. It's that important. If I don't do anything about this, then I'm doing myself a grave disservice. And so like I said, this is not a new conversation. This is an old conversation. We dealt with a really realistic problem. So let me just show you something on. Actually, I don't have it with me right now, but I did do a video on it. I want to explain one thing that I did buy some connectors from my other phones, plural, which I don't have with me, but they make adapters that allow you to use a USB-C cable to connect the micro USB phone. Actually, I do have the cables. Yeah, but I don't have the silly guarantee to have the device. Oh yeah, I do. Alright, so let me get this out. So let's do a little bit of an unboxing. I did this on the other phone, but I couldn't see the screen. So let's take a look at a real world example. Let's say I have a lot more USB-C cables now than I have micro USB cables, okay? And for this example, let's pretend for a minute, okay? And actually, it's not really that far from reality. Because I do have one micro USB device right here. Let's say your light battery's running down. You need to charge. So you say to yourself, oh, wait, my battery's going flat. I need to charge because otherwise I'm not going to see what's going on. So then when you go rummaging your bag, all you see is you got USB-C cables, but this is micro USB cable. So you're going, well, how am I supposed to charge it? Well, here's your answer. This is a micro USB or USB-C to micro USB. So you plug this adapter in here, and then plug your micro USB port into that, and then you can just plug the other end of the micro USB-C cable into your charger bank like this, and it will charge your device. It doesn't just charge, it's also do data transfer. Okay, so it does USB 5 volts. I don't know if this thing does PD, power demand, but this is how it works. And they also make another adapter for the iPhone 8 that does something similar. That I can take this same adapter and I can use that to plug directly into my iPhone 8, and it converts to USB-C. It also supports other connectors as well, so you could still use with the Bluetooth headphones and things like that, which is something I haven't tried this yet with the other devices yet, but this is just a neat technology that makes my life easier. If anybody who does a lot of electronic work, with the stuff I do, you kind of run into that where you need to be able to keep things charged, and sometimes it's just better to stick with one cable, the main cable, and then just deal with the converters as needed instead of being stuck over and over again with a million other plugs. And so, yeah, that's a good point. Now, in this case, the adapter just is a passive adapter. It doesn't convert signals, okay? Now, the one that's USB-C to Lightning is an active adapter because it's got to convert protocol from USB-C to iPhone. But it also supports and adds support for plugging in USB microphones and headsets and hubs into your phone. It also supposedly can support USB-C cameras. Right, well, we'll see. Maybe that's asking for too much, to be honest with you, but so now that you've got two iPhones and an Android phone, how are we going to keep all these phones exercised? Well, let's talk about what I would do. For the convocation for December 21st, there's no reason why we cannot make a bar that can hold an iPhone in portrait, an iPhone in landscape, and then maybe another phone recording the video live to an SD card. And the reason I would do that is if for some reason the Wi-Fi is, or wherever we are, stops working, at least we have two other sources of content recording. And I would think a very inexpensive piece of metal stock, using a 1/4" with 32nd thread bolt, a nut. It could be used to attach to hold these brackets like this one is. This will give you the ability to do just that, so that you can record everything. And that means that when you want to move the camera around, since everything is preset, so when you move one camera, it's going to move the rest of the cameras, so that they're all going to move together. You know, tilt, square, whatever, straight on. And that can be a really big deal because, especially if you're streaming something that was once a year, like the Convocation, where there's no room for a redo, really. I remember one year we did it really fancy, and then we ended up having to do a mulligan, and it just totally messed it up so bad that I just don't want to do the same mistake again. You know, I want to try to do it right, so that's why. But I think that's enough talking for now. But the thing is, today is my day off. And so I know it's going to say, wait, isn't it Wee Woo Wednesday? Honey, I don't even need to go to Wee Woo Wednesday. I cannot afford to constantly go to Starbucks. It just can't. It's just not. It's expensive. It's I just can't do it. You know. I mean, it's great for once in a while when I want to go get a coffee or something. Like last week I was going to watch it, and then, like, they weren't even live. I don't know what happened with T-Mac at the time, but it wasn't even live at 5 o'clock. So, that's my time. That was 2 o'clock his time. So, I just said, well, screw that, and I just went, did something else. I did the same thing, just do something else today, and get out there and have a good time. So, Thursday, we'll be in studio tomorrow morning. And we'll do that as members only, as a test. Friday, I'll be working with Krista to clean the house. So, please don't get mad if you forget that on Friday I'm going to be starting a 3 o'clock show. So, Friday will be a 3 o'clock show. Just to let you know that. But for now, I want to say thank you for watching this. And I'll see you later. And yes, maybe tonight we might play some games. Yeah, tonight I think we'll play some games. And then it's going to be gaming. It's not going to be having a huge panel with everybody talking. It's just going to be gaming. Let me play games tonight. So, but I want to say thank you everybody for watching this. And I'll see you guys later. Stay out of trouble. Okay? Bye-bye. Bye-bye.